Full Sport Press.
And we're back. It's a YouTube exclusive. The good guys at the Full Sport Press podcast are going to break down the upcoming national championship college football game. Myself, shout out to Weezy, shout out to J-Hove, and you, the cameraman. Let's get going. All right, so going into the game, Alabama could become the first school in college football playoff era, that's since 2014, to repeat as national champions. That's true. That is true.
It's true.
Or Georgia may win its first national title since the 1980 season. All that SEC talk. They only won a damn thing.
A lot of people won since then.
LSU
won since then.
Ain't won a damn
Florida's
thing.
won too since then.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
But getting revenge on Alabama. This will be the rematch of last month's SEC championship game. In that contest, Alabama showed why they were the number one, they're now the number one team in the nation by putting a good old shellacking on Georgia, 41-24. And now the Crimson Tide and the Bulldogs will meet again with all the stakes on the national championship. Alabama, they beat my Cincinnati Bearcats in the Cotton Bowl in Georgia.
You gonna hold on to that one?
Yeah,
okay.
hold on to it.
Okay. Yeah.
And Georgia defeated Michigan rather handily in the Orange Bowl. Shout out to Coach Wayman. Both teams cruised. Now they're ready for the rematch of the Titans. The spread going into this game is Alabama plus 125. Bet 100 for Alabama, you win $125. Georgia, bet 145, you win $100. Over the under is 52. The spread is -3. Georgia. Weezy. Which Georgia defense shows up against Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner?
It's got to be the defense that showed up against Michigan. If not, Bryce Young's gonna have another field day. It's got to be the defense that showed up against Michigan. It's got to be. We go to the next question.
Yeah.
I would break it down.
Yeah, for sure. So they're going in and need to do a better job of containing Bryce Young. That's it. In order to do that, they got to put more pressure on him. Their offensive line is still stacked, but the good thing for Georgia is that John Mechie won't play. He tore his ACL, and he killed in that game against Georgia, but he also tore his ACL that game as well.
Yeah.
So Crimson Tide would need to find a way to keep the offense success versus the Bulldogs without one of their key playmakers on the field. But guess what? They have the best recruiting class for the last 7 years. So in turn, they're going to have somebody else back there to step up like how they do every other year, for sure.
All right, so I'm going to shoot Georgia's defense some bail here. They had one bad game. One bad game. It was against Alabama.
Yeah.
But that was the only bad game they had.
Yep.
And I do believe being able to play someone a second time, you kind of pick up on the nuances. Yes, this is Nick Saban, so I totally get it. They're going to change up a lot. But I think Georgia is not going to look as ill-prepared as they did in the SEC championship with Alabama clearly just wanted that game more than they did. So I do believe we're going to see the Georgia defense that showed up in every other game in this college football season other than the SEC championship game. Bryce Young, look out.
Gotcha.
Weezy. Can Stetson Bennett carry over his momentum from the Orange Bowl?
He'll have to if they want to win. But the thing with Stetson and Bennett is, I think playing them in the second game so rapidly, it's better for him. He don't have to dwell on it. The film is right there. It's been like within a month. He has to trust his reads. If that's a read, throw the football. But they have to attack Alabama's corners.
Yeah. This is the weakest cornerback that Alabama's ever had. So Stetson Bennett, he hadn't put up flashy numbers the entire year.
Right.
They always had big leads like Jeff had. They had one bad game that was against Alabama. I'm still not sure if he's better than JT Daniels. I think JT Daniels is a better quarterback than him. But anyway, not for sure. But he made a statement in that Orange Bowl game, passed for 313 yards, 3 touchdowns over Michigan. 340 against the Alabama in that SEC championship game. If Alabama can't do that, they can keep him under those 2 interceptions that he did, which were costly. They have to keep a way to keep that momentum down. If he does, he might lead Georgia to a national championship if he can play the way he played against Michigan, for sure.
Yeah. So shout out to Stetson Bennett. That ain't happening in this game. To be honest with you, that ain't happening. Georgia's defense is great. Alabama defense is nothing to sneeze at. And what Georgia would need to do to make this game better is run the ball. And Alabama has the best running defense in the country, other than Georgia. So that means Stetson Bennett is going to have to throw for 300, almost 400 yards to make this a game. And I would not bet on that and want him having to do that if I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. So no, I do not believe he'll be able to carry over that momentum into this Orange Bowl, from the Orange Bowl game. All right, here's the question. Start with you, Weezy. Alabama wins if.
Alabama wins if they can establish the run early. I know Georgia's defense is big up front, but if they establish the run early, they know what they can do on the outside with Georgia's corners. They know what they can do. The passing game was already there. If they establish the run early and they get to predict the game, they win the game.
I like that. J-Hope.
Alabama wins if they make Stetson Bennett turn the ball over. 2 picks against that game against Alabama in the SEC Championship. It was awful timing. It really just ruined the momentum that they had going. If you don't have elite quarterback play in national championship games, you do not beat Alabama. They have to protect Stetson Bennett and needs to make sure he makes the right reads. No costly turnovers. That's the only way that they'll win.
Alabama wins if Will Anderson continues to dominate the way he has this entire season. There's no answer for him on the college football field. That's a pro after his sophomore year. Whatever he wants to do. Probably 3rd pick, if not the 2nd pick in the draft this year. So if he continues to dominate the way he does on the one side of the ball, Alabama is going to make this a cakewalk to the national championship. Now, Weezy, Georgia wins if
they can attack Alabama's corners. They got that's the weakest part of Alabama's defense. So a team, they got to attack their corners. Because Cook's gonna do his thing. If he get enough carries, he'll do his thing. But he'll only do his thing if they can attack the corners. If they load up the box on him, he's done. Attack the corners. I think Georgia will win the football game.
J-Hope.
Georgia wins if they sack Bryce Young. Just getting into the backfield isn't enough. He can make you miss. The UGA secondary, they're good, but they're just not good enough to keep people covered for 7+ seconds. They have to make sure it's a situation where they get Bryce Young on the ground. That's the only way they'll win that game.
Georgia wins if they watch the Cincinnati game tape. Cincinnati defense had a great game plan once they adjusted to allowing their corners to try and win that football game. Cincinnati was in that game throughout. They just did not take enough risk. So Georgia, if you watch that game plan and implement 1 to 2 deep risk for your offense that allows Stetson Bennett to take a chance, I think that is how you win. Because Alabama is solid across the board, but they were subjective. If Cincinnati took a risk or 2, that game looks a little bit different in my eyes. So I think if Georgia reviews that, comes out with a similar game plan on defense, attacking on offense, they can make this a ball game. Now, here's the best question of them all. Weezy, who wins?
I think Georgia wins this game. And I think it because this is something Nick Saban is kind of throws him off schedule a little bit. He hasn't played a team twice within 3 weeks. I haven't seen that for the national championship. Usually he has like a time to prepare for a team. This time it throws his preparation off. It's not a different team, and this team has seen him twice within the last 3 weeks. So I think Georgia gets it done right here. They're favored for a reason.
Okay. Yeah. Joe.
I got Alabama winning 31-27. This is the reason Nick Saban is the head coach. Yeah. He is prepared. He was prepared for Georgia before they played Cincinnati. That's it.
Yeah. And see, when he just said 31-27, that's a close game. It can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a close game.
Yeah.
I got Alabama by 10.
Oh, you got a blowout.
At the end. It's close throughout. Alabama gets a play at the end because Georgia has to throw, and Alabama wins by 10 points. That's what happens. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a lot of pros on the field out there, understandably so. A lot of people playing on Sundays will be playing in this game on Monday night, and I have Alabama winning by double digits. All right, so that is your Full Sport Press College Football National Championship breakdown. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to tell a friend, and we are out.
Yes, sir.
The revolution will be podcasted.